All right, my next question is out of Genesis, and it says, has anyone lived past the 120-year lifespan God stated in Genesis that no man would live beyond? And that's in Genesis 6:3.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. And the answer to that is yes, they have. And so that lets you know that that's not an end point for a lifespan. Most likely what Genesis 6:3 is talking about is the amount of time that the people had until the flood was going to come.
Right.
And so when you look at the passage itself, it says, it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And you see God responding to that. And we've talked about that issue before. It's wickedness that's going on there. He responded to that with, my spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And that would be the idea that you've got 120 years and then mankind is gone. And that would be the date of the flood. And so most likely that's what that's talking about.
So I just Googled this. Google, okay, take it for what it is. But Gene Calment, 122 years, died in 1997.
Yeah.
So 1875 to 1997. Can you imagine, like, living 122 years? Like, think about what she saw.
Right.
From
yeah.
1875 through World War II to the 90s, like to the tech boom.
Right, yeah.
That's a lot.
My grandmother came from Texas to California in a Conestoga wagon.
That's crazy, yeah.
So she was born in 1906.
Yeah.
And they were still using wagons back then. Came to California in 1906, saw the invention of the airplane going from biplanes to monoplanes and jet fighters, that kind of stuff, propeller fighters, to jet fighters, breaking the sound barrier, rockets, landing on the moon. She saw
So
all
cool.
of that stuff in her lifetime.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like,
you know how
and this lady got to see the space station and the
Yeah.
space shuttle and all of that. So actually, my grandma saw the space shuttle.
Oh.
Yeah, she died after the space shuttle was.
So, you know how in the book of Genesis we had longer lifespans that we were just reading about, 700, 800 years, whatever. Methuselah, whatever.
969.
969. Can you imagine, like, the depravity of man? And, I know it talks about it, but usually the older people get, the harder they get with their sin, the more stubborn, the more, you think of a rude old, grumpier old men,
Right,
get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the heart of man at 700 years
Yeah.
that doesn't want to follow the Lord? And just the schemes, and just by living that long, just a natural intelligence or vindictiveness that grows during 700 years.
Yeah.
I could see why the Lord's like, And he knew the gene pool would get reduced, but too long.
Yep.
You're done.
Yeah. Make it shorter.
All right. Good question.
Yep.